You're listening to episode 69 of the Let's Go Comic Show. On today's show, is Henry Cavill Superman or not? What's going on with that? And also, Captain Marvel breaks the internet? Question mark. Also, we smell the floppies.
You are listening to episode 69 of the Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
And I'm Matt.
Yes, this is the Let's Go Comic Show, where we talk about everything in the world of comics, from comic books, comic TV shows, comic book movies, everything.
All of it.
All of the comics. There might be some ink on your fingers, some popcorn in your lap.
Really?
That's what happens when you read the comics, dude. Or you're watching a
you
comic
get
book
popcorn
movie.
in your lap
If you're watching
reading a comic.
If you're watching a comic book movie,
Oh,
you might be watching
maybe potentially
a Marvel movie, and you're like, just what's happening? What's happening in this movie? Is Nick Fury going to be at the end of this movie? You get popcorn in your lap. That's what's happening. Anyways, so, man, we love everything about the world of comics, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're like, what the freaking crap is going on in Warner Brothers? But we rate this stuff based on what rating system, Matt?
That'd be the Let's Go rating
The
system.
Let's Go rating system. And that is...
we have a gotta go.
Gotta go.
A let's go.
A let's go.
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 And a don't go.
And a don't go.
And when special needs arise, right at the bottom, it's
Right
resting just some trash juice, dude.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into some trash juice right now. Okay, so we have some things that we wanted to talk about today, and we're going to have to put them to the side a little bit. Today was a weird day, man. So this morning, I actually received a text.
This is Wednesday.
This is Wednesday. It is currently
September 12th.
12th, yeah.
Just to be accurate, because you can be listening to this at any time, man.
Dude, you can be listening
Hello,
to this
future
in
people.
2020. I'm in the future. And so
we are in the future right now.
Yeah, it was a weird morning, dude. And so my whole day.
How'd your text message kick it off?
Yeah, so I had a text thread going off with some friends, and it was Ryan Haas, who was on Batman on Film, which I'm a part of that. And I get this text message, and I'm like, what the crap is this, dude? And I look at it, and it's just Ryan saying, like, no, just capital N-O. And it was like 7-11 this time. And then it's the Hollywood Reporter article that came out. And it's just like, Henry Cavill is out. And, I immediately really felt upset.
Yeah?
I don't know. Here's the thing. With the whole Ben Affleck stuff, I don't care. I care kind of, but you're
that's been happening for a while,
wishy-washy. And it's but for some reason, Henry Cavill as Superman, I really like him as Superman. I feel like this guy has wanted to be Superman for so long.
Yeah, and we talked about it with Justice League. I mean, his parts, when he's able to just be Superman, it's great.
He feels like Superman, you know?
Big fan of Justice.
And I'm a big fan of he loves being Superman. He's the guy, where Ben Affleck's leave me alone. I don't care right now. Henry Cavill's I'll put on a suit and go to a hospital. I love, he named his freaking dog Kal-El. This guy loves being Superman, right?
Yeah.
And so to hear the news that he's, at that point, he's out, it actually made me really sad. I was like, what the crap? This is the one thing.
It felt like a lost opportunity.
He's like, they can get rid of Ezra Miller. I don't care. You know? But to get rid of Henry Cavill felt like, man, this guy, you realize you have, if you have any problems with these movies, and I get, there's been some issues with these movies, Henry Cavill is not the problem with these movies. The problem has always been story, director, or whatever like that. And so I became a little fanboyish on Twitter today. And it's where's the one place I can let my feelings
You went off a little bit.
I did. I just felt very okay, I'm gonna put my thoughts out there. Not like Warner Brothers is oh, okay.
I'm so glad Justin put his thoughts out.
Thank you, Justin Kowalski. Thanks for putting your thoughts out there, pal. But I will say, after my initial thoughts were this sucks. I'm sad. I think it was, I was just going through the motions of like, this is sad. I think I was like, Henry loved the character, and like, you know, he was very vocal about it.
Yeah.
And then I was just like processing. It's gonna be weird, like watching Shazam. Which is very blatant and heavy in its Man of Steel. You know, all the
even in the
DC
trailer,
movies,
like we get a little bit of
like
that.
it's the newspapers of all the things. The World Engine is straight up right there from Man of Steel. Like his old buddy's wearing a Superman Man of Steel. It's not like a Superman comic book TV T-shirt. It is the Man of Steel like logo. It means hope. It's so like there's that, and then the weird part happened later on. Danny Garcia, who is his manager, who's also The Rock's ex-wife, she's The Rock's manager as well. So she's like, I'm not that mad at you. I'll represent you because, you know, alimony. Give me some of that money. The more movies The Rock makes. Anyways, so she puts this out. Be peaceful. The cape is still in his closet. WB Pictures has been and continues to be our partners as they evolve the DC universe. Anticipate a WB statement later today, which we still have not got. You know, it is.
Yeah, we got the WB statement. It was just really wishy-washy.
The one from, I don't know if that's the statement she's talking about. The one from the Hollywood Reporter that's like, we love Henry Cavill and no final decision.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? So
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And so, anyways, the one thing though, I went back.
This is all just a publicity stunt, dude.
That's really a dumb publicity stunt.
Oh no, it'd be really dumb. Don't get me wrong.
But then the one thing that, if you go back and reread the Hollywood Reporter, which the Hollywood Reporter is a mouthpiece for Warner Brothers. Like, it's a trade. It's not like a blog. People just going, here's a rumor. It's, you know, like Hollywood Reporter, Rap, The Variety. Those aren't like, it's not like reading like comicbookmovienews.com or something like that. But one of the things in the article, it said, though neither side is confirming. So no one's confirmed this yet.
Yeah.
Like his management hasn't, or Warner Brothers. It's just somebody tipped him off and said, hey, looks like Henry Cavill's out, you know? And so, okay. And then other people have said, oh, it's because he's doing that Netflix show. Dude, that's a 4-month shoot. There's not currently a Superman movie on the dock. So it's not like that was it. So just get rid of that idea if that's what you're thinking. But, yeah, that was kind of the gist of it. And there's some weird stuff. Like in one of the articles, it was like, it was such a random part. It was like, Warner Brothers is considering having Michael B. Jordan be Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where'd that come from? That was just like a random, like, let's add something else in there. And then the one that seemed the most stupid and irresponsible was like, hey, you don't know nothing about like DC Comics. They're like, Warner Brothers is also, you know, focused on making a Supergirl film. And then they're like, well,
that doesn't make sense.
Well, the part that didn't make sense was if they make a Supergirl film, Henry Cavill is too old because Superman's an infant when
she leaves.
When she leaves, and I'm like,
she's
but
at Earth.
When she hits Earth, she had a different trajectory, so she actually lands at a different time. And even they've hinted at that is still like her little chambers there on Earth somewhere. There's that one scene. Anyways, that doesn't mean anything. Here's the thing: none of that matters, anyways. The article felt like it wasn't thought out.
It doesn't seem like solid reporting in any way to me.
Yeah. And let's go back a few years. Matt Reeves, when he was negotiating to direct the Batman, there was a point where he was out. He was like, I'm out. Talks broke down. Yeah. Like they couldn't come to a decision. So Matt Reeves wasn't going to direct Batman. And then a few days later, he was back in.
Hey, look at that.
This could be a situation like that. So things get weirder later on in the day. So on Instagram, Henry Cavill straight up like puts a video out. Did you see this video?
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like, it's him doing some weird, like, what's that? I don't know what the name, you know the name of that song because you're a musician. What's the name of that?
Gosh, let me watch it again.
It's the circus song. Do, 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 do. And he looks very like serious and he's wearing a Krypton workout team. And he's lifting
Krypton lifting team, and he's lifting a
Superman action figure up into the air, and then he backs it back down. And it's like, is that like a visual interpretation of negotiations? Like everything was going good, and now it's going bad.
Or he's like, "Hey, I'm Superman. Like it's not going to change."
I hope that's it. We don't know, dude. Like we can listen to this show. We're going to wrap this show tonight, and then tomorrow they're going to be like, yeah, he's out. And then like we'll have to talk about it again next week or whatever. But as of now, again and again. But as of right now, we don't know. There's no final answer. There's just weird stuff like in the article. They're like, you know, he was supposed to film a cameo in Shazam, couldn't do it. Based on other stuff that was going on. But he, even like, if you look on his like Instagram feed like a month ago or something, he's like he's working out to, fit into those red and blue tights again, So
yeah,
this guy loves being Superman. And Warner Brothers, hopefully they saw enough fan outpouring and appreciation. They're like, maybe this is a bad idea. Or maybe this is part of like Danny Garcia's negotiations. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems really weird.
That would be kind of odd. But bottom line, the trash juice here.
Yes, the trash juice
is the way that stories are happening concerning WB and the DC movies. Mm-hmm. Like that to me is the trash juice. It's just horrible. Like there's no structure to it. There's no purpose to it. There's no direction to anything. It's just like people finding out random rumors and then those catch on like wildfire and they don't do anything to stop them or to redirect or to clarify. And they haven't done that for years.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other side is it's weird that it's just playing out publicly on Twitter. Like I wish all this stuff was like, that's just the world we live in now. And especially with like the stuff that we love, fandom, like we're so wrapped up and filled like with too much information at times.
That's true. We're getting a peek behind the curtain.
Like you wouldn't really know this, it would have been reported in a trade that you'd have to read tomorrow. Right. Like, what? And then, guess what? It's all good now. And so. Yeah,
it's his appreciation for the character. It's how well he played the character. And I think most people from what I've seen would agree that have been posting today on social media is what the heck? Like he kind of got shortchanged. Like we had Man of Steel, which was overall good, right? With some qualms here and there. And we wanted to see him grow into Superman that we know. But instead we got Batman v Superman. Yeah. Instead of an actual Man of Steel. Like I'm in the camp that like if we would have had a true Man of Steel sequel, I think that would have set him up way better for the following movies.
Oh yeah,
but
I agree.
WB,
I think
like jumped the gun and wanted to.
I think everyone's that way.
Oh, dude, it's just.
I think everyone was like, man, why didn't we just get Man of Steel 2? That's what we want.
Yeah, I didn't care about having more Batman right away.
Yeah, so here's a couple things to kind of get at. I was talking to some people on Twitter, and then I put out like, hey, what are your thoughts about like what's going on here? And so Philip Barker says, if Cavill got his own sequel, who would you have liked to have seen as the antagonist? What do you think? Like who do we want to go and see Superman go up against? Because
I wanted to see like Metallo or something like that.
Metallo. See, I can see Metallo. I can see Metallo as a side villain, but not the main.
What would the main villain be?
Dude,
for you?
Brainiac.
I feel like Brainiac, I was thinking, would be like a Justice League kind of one for me. I wish they would have done that instead of going straight to the New Gods.
When you get into something like Brainiac, it does become so big that
but maybe let
me call my friends.
I'm thinking of the Justice League. Like, was that the pilot? Like when it started, was it Brainiac that got them all together? The cartoon, yeah.
No, there was some like weird alien thing, wasn't it?
I can't remember, honestly. Yeah. You guys can correct me. Like,
yeah,
it's been a minute since I've seen this. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But that's just what I kind of think. I was like, oh, man, Brainiac was a pretty big one. But I would love to see that. That was actually what I was thinking. But then I stopped myself because I was like, oh, maybe that's too big.
Metallo could be cool. Like if they made it a smaller story. I think with Superman, like in a movie, you want to see something kind of big. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see something too small. Like, if I was going to do a true Man of Steel sequel, it would have been like...
It would have been great to see Lex Luthor.
It would have been Lex Luthor, not the Jesse Eisenberg version. Like
even that, I think if it would have gotten fleshed out and given its due, I think could have worked. I just don't like the way they ended up doing it.
You know what stings the most is I just watched the last half of Man of Steel on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I was just like, let's watch the last half, and there's like, it reminded me of like the excitement I had for this like universe of movies. Because they had the little Easter eggs of like, ooh, LexCorp. I remember like the big oil tankers getting smashed, and like I'm like, oh, what's Lex Luthor going to be like in this universe? And it just kind of took me back to like, oh, what's next? And now not knowing like this type of information was going to come out like 4 days later. Like, oh shoot,
Right.
So a lot of this stuff is fresh, and so I'm kind of glad I watched it because it put me in a different frame of mind of like and I'm watching. I'm like, I really like him as Superman. He just feels like Superman. Because the same day I also watched Superman 2, and it really got me thinking. Like Christopher Reeve, I put him in the same category as Hugh Jackman. Like Christopher Reeve's a good Superman, Hugh Jackman's a good Wolverine, but they really only have like one good movie as who they are. Maybe Hugh Jackman, since he's done like 20 movies, he's probably got like 2 or 3 that like, man, that was a great Wolverine like story. Yeah. But like no one's saying Superman 3 is amazing, right? There's like a couple of spots. No one's saying Superman 4 is great. It's usually like Superman and parts of Superman 2 are okay. I feel like Henry Cavill's kind of in that same camp. Like Man of Steel, great movie. I think Batman v Superman, I understand what was going on in that movie, and his performance I thought was fine. He didn't have a lot going on, but
yeah,
his scenes, especially
I didn't love it.
We didn't like. Oh man, I like 75% of that movie.
I feel like he got shortchanged big time.
Oh, he totally got shortchanged, but the stuff he's in is good. Like he's not terrible in the movie, right? And then Justice League, minus the mustachy weird stuff, like he's good as Superman, right? And so I almost feel like he has better Superman scenes in his career as Superman. So I want to see more of that. Anyway,
his Superman moments in Justice League are my favorite parts of that movie.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I think like going back to the question that Philip had, I would love to see a little bit of pulling the strings of Lex Luthor, not as the main baddie. Like that gets set up for like the last one. Yeah. But like I always had this idea of like Brainiac comes, Superman beats Brainiac, Lex Luthor's there as like kind of the hero of the city as well. Like, thanks Superman for helping us out. And then, he takes some of Brainiac's
the tech.
Like stuff, we'll check it out at Lex. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to make a battle suit and fight you in the next movie. But there's also like some inner gang stuff going on. There's different layers that Superman deals with. Yeah.
And I even like would love to see just a little side, like maybe an opening scene is like fighting like Toyman in like a giant robot.
Oh gosh.
Like I would love to see that on a movie
style.
Screen. Yeah.
Or like, was it, Sky Commander, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Like that style of toy robot. See, stuff like that would be fun. So that's where I'm at.
Not as like the main thing, but I want to see him punch giant robots.
Just in the beginning.
I'm a simple man.
I'm a simple man. Giant robots.
I just want to see Superman punch giant robots.
Yeah. And so, I don't. And then other people like Nick Zednick said he just doesn't want to see people. He firmly believes Cavill wanted creative control of the film. Which that was rumored. Like he was like, "Hey, I want to have a say on what the story's going to be." One of the stories that Cavill wanted them to explore was this story that Jim Lee and Brian Azzarello did called "For Tomorrow." I think it was. It was this like thing where I think half of Metropolis got like disappeared or something like that, and so Superman. It was Superman heavy. Like there was not Clark Kent. It was Superman dealing with like a priest, and they were like talking. The priest was having like kind of a challenge of faith, and Superman was having this like issue of like, where's everybody at? I don't remember all of the story, but it was like one of these 12 issue. It was right after Hush, and then Jim Lee's like, oh, I'm gonna do another story with Superman. And so every time you see those like Batman Superman like connected covers where like Batman's on a gargoyle and Superman's on an eagle, they're the covers to those two stories. And so maybe that's part of it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, just something interesting. I know because Henry Cavill probably wants that balance, right? Like he wants something with a little gravitas and to explore something interesting, but then also get some of that sweet action, that he had in Justice League where he's headbutting people and moving really fast and using ice breath.
Oh, ice breath is the greatest.
So cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't want to continue to give it too much more like thought, but I hope that Cavill stays in. I think he's a good Superman. He wants to be Superman.
I agree.
I'm just trying to think like who else could play Superman. I can't think of a single actor.
Ooh.
I mean, there's probably some unknown dude out there who's like, I look like Superman, but
I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, like if you had to cast a Superman right now, like I don't have a single person.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
There you go. Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, Superman. He's not Batman. He's
Nicolas Cage is like ready to go, man.
There was a lot of tweets today of like, hey, if you want a Superman, they have these like test shots of him. And then
of course
to pile on the trash juice though, like New York Post, which is basically a crap like outlet, put out Ben Affleck out as DC's Batman today. I don't know what they were thinking. They're like, you know what? Let's just pile it on. And it's like, hey, we all kind of know Ben Affleck is out, like, right?
Yeah.
But it was just like, Ben Affleck is hanging up the cape. And it's all, I feel like they were like, hey, this Cavill stuff's going on. Let's try to get some clicks. And then it's really like a 5-paragraph article. It's just stupid, man. And then they even tack on the Michael B. Jordan thing that Deadline put out.
Which let's go down that trail. Like, it's probably not true, right?
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably just a bunch of guys going, Black Panther was successful.
Did you see or read any of the Earth 2 Society stuff?
Yeah.
Because they had, I'm trying to remember, I want to say Val Zod, like, was the name of the Earth 2 Superman.
Okay.
And he was black. And his costume was pretty sweet.
The blue one?
Yeah, it had like white or silver kind of accents on it and stuff. Like, it looked really slick. But I mean, so it's not like out of the question or without precedent to have that. It just seems like an odd thing to throw in about like, hey, Henry Cavill's out. They're probably, remember Michael B. Jordan? He was in a superhero thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like he's a hot commodity. Let's have him be Superman. So it feels very like, you know, like a forced like idea. Like, hey, I feel like Michael B. Jordan's like, don't put my name in there, dude. Like right now, come on, dude. I'm doing Creed, and I just had to run a Black Panther, and he's just like, hey, I did the Human Torch. People got a little upset about that. I'm not trying to have any of that drama, and I'm not saying he can't be Superman. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like I'm sure he's just like, don't put me in this right now. People are mad about Superman. Don't draw my name. Because, you know, there's like a bunch of like...
stay out of this fire real quick.
Like Zack Snyder fans that are like, he's not Superman. And they're marching. Hashtag release the Snyder cut.
Well, I mean, you had...
Release the Jordan cut.
It was Tom Taylor and Nicholas Scott had the character in their run of Earth 2 Society. Yeah. And so he even tweeted, he was like, hey, like, we actually talked about Michael B. Jordan, like, when we were designing him and doing that. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, dude, and if they want to explore that character, that'd be cool. Like, that's the thing with the DC universe. You know what? Let's talk about that. Stuff. You know how they're doing that one-off Joker movie? They could do
a one-off
Superman, you know, Earth 2 version of Superman or something. That could be
really cool.
I think that'd be you can do anything. That's the beauty of like the DC universe deal.
Yeah, the multiverse. Man, you have options.
Yeah, because they have that League of Superman. What do they call the Superman team? They have a name for the Superman team. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Somebody like way more nerdier than myself can think of the Superman. Like Jay Yas can make that happen. But yeah, I can go there, dude. But let's not count Henry Cavill out yet. And I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts about this whole?
Nope.
Warner Brothers is just stupid, dude. Can you imagine?
There's just nothing like even stuff. Remember we talked about Alec Baldwin. Yeah. Right? And it's just like there's nothing official. Like it doesn't feel like they have control of anything at all.
Yeah.
And so I can't imagine what like shareholders and board members and people like that are thinking. You know what I mean? Of like, what are you guys actually doing? Like I saw someone post today, like they have like a universe for The Conjuring like set up and planned out, but they can't adapt over 80 years of comic book material. Which I would add to that, the animated movies and TV shows have done.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So it's not like it's not possible.
Yeah. Look at Superman the animated series. Like anything that like Paul Dini has had his hands on. Look at that. I'm not saying adapt the cartoon.
No,
I get that.
It's proof that it can be done.
Yes. And I it's almost like they don't trust themselves. They overthink. Like, dude, like, and you have creators out there that are like, I'll do this. And I feel like the directors that do want to do it are just like, you guys don't want to do this. You have no idea. Can you imagine wanting to do a Superman movie? Getting someone like, what's the cat who did X-Men Days of Future Past? Not that one.
No,
that was Bryan Singer. Who did?
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn. Did he do Days of Future Past? No, that was Singer, right?
No, that was Singer.
Matthew Vaughn did the first.
He did First Class.
Can you imagine? Because he's been rumored like, oh, I'll do like that. They were talking to him. Can you imagine him wanting to do Superman and then being like, I saw what you guys all did to Zack Snyder's like like cut the crap out of what he did.
Right.
Like wherever you feel on Zack Snyder, like as a director, he was trying to do something. They cut the crap out of what he was trying to do, and then like I don't know if I want to get into that ring,
Yeah, but then I think of like, can I? Yeah, I mean, it's sad to scare someone off like that too, because I could think of. I don't remember if he did the second one, but the first Kingsman movie, he directed that, right?
Yeah.
And good
And
gravy.
Kick-Ass.
Like I would love to see.
Good gravy.
I would love to see some Superman action shot like that and written like that.
Yeah, I think he'd do great. And what was the guy that just did Mission Impossible?
That'd be Chris.
He's been rumored to like people have been rumoring him doing Superman. McLaren, something like that. Which he just worked with Henry Cavill in his arms.
Oh yeah,
his
dude, have you seen it yet?
No, I'm gonna try on Friday to watch it.
Oh,
but,
dude, I really liked it.
Yeah, I know I'm a month late on it, but Movie Pass. Anyways,
And as much as it sucked for Justice League, that mustache was magnificent.
does the movie need him to have the mustache? They were saying it was detrimental to the movie.
No, they don't. It doesn't matter if he has a mustache.
That's stupid. No, that's dumb. Yeah. So yeah, man, I don't know. I if you guys have thoughts, please let us know. You can leave them in the comment section on this page here on Let's Go podcast.com on the comic side of it.
Yeah, hit us up
on the show. Let us know if you want. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. Because again, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? The wind will change.
Indeed, but the way that WB is handling this stuff,
It's
trash
stupid.
juice.
Trash, dude. That's a long. We haven't done a trash juice in a while.
We're making up for it.
We just
Making
poured
up for
out
lost
the
time.
bag right there.
Trash juice. It's
Yeah.
been stewing.
And I hope Aquaman does well. But I almost feel, for me, I'm like, man, there's a lot of negative crap going into your universe that you're trying to create, regardless if it's going to be super connected or not. Like you have Aquaman coming out, you got Wonder Woman.
I don't need Shazam to be connected to Superman, but just having that shadow hanging over it of like, wait, so you're not going to do Superman stuff anymore?
Yeah, I mean,
like that bums me out because I'm really stoked on Shazam, but what the heck, dude? Speaking of Shazam, can we transition?
Shazam. Yeah, please take us out.
A shared named character, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we didn't talk about.
It's funny. Brie Larson last week tweeted, "Hey EW, want to break the internet tomorrow?" And then they just showed pictures of the costume and characters, which I don't think broke the internet, but it was pretty cool.
Maybe she was talking about Henry Cavill not being Superman. That's
Oh,
what she was
maybe.
She was like, "Hey, you want to break the internet? Henry Cavill's not Superman."
So here's what I would say about this: those pictures and that costume specifically. I'll give my opinion first.
Yeah.
It fits within the MCU. It looks like an MCU costume.
Mm-hmm.
She looks fine as Captain Marvel. Her poses in all of the pictures that she's in just look unnatural. Like I don't see like power. I don't see her like flying or punching or you know what I mean? It's just kind of this awkward like
really
fists out kind of stance. Like I don't know. That hit me as kind of weird.
With the cover?
Yeah, the cover was kind of weird.
Really? I thought the cover was fine.
The costume is great.
I didn't have any issues with the cover. So, I don't know. All I saw really was a lot of people were like, look, it's the Green Lantern Corps. There was this picture of her.
Oh, yeah.
And,
with the Kree. But what's cool is to have, is it Korath is in there as part of her crew, which is kind of cool because he's a bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So something
which he's
happens.
in both Captain Marvel movies because he plays the wizard in Shazam.
Yes.
He's like, what, Captain Marvel? He
Captain
signed
Marvel,
up.
Captain Marvel,
He
Captain
signed
Marvel.
up for it and he's like, wait, what's Captain Marvel movie am I in? They're like, I think you're in both. Yeah, you're in both. His agent was like, I just double signed you. I don't know.
Sure. But to see the Kree, like they look really cool.
Wait, you mean the Skrulls?
No, the Kree, like the people that are with her and her crew.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the Kree. They like look like the Kree, but I don't know. In the comics, it's like anytime you have an alien race like this, they all look exactly the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
And to have like all of it look like, oh, there's even diversity among like the Kree and how they look and how they, I don't know, like even like hair, like I don't know, all that stuff I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, and then you have the Skrulls, which I thought those looked awesome.
Yeah, the Skrulls look good, and they look different. It's not that it's funny; they just look a little weird coming out of the ocean. Like what the heck? Like they're in the water.
That part of it's weird. But even like, yeah, I'm looking at the picture of her standing there, like she just got her fists down. Like the costume's awesome.
Yeah.
I just need to see it. I probably just need to see it in motion, honestly.
So there's that one shot. It does show Jude Law in the Captain Marvel, like whatever outfit, the Kree outfit.
He plays Marvel, right?
That's the rumor. They haven't said who it is, but it has him and Ronan the Accuser, which it's cool seeing Ronan again.
Yeah, so is he a good guy at this point too? Like he hasn't gone rogue yet?
I don't know, dude. I don't know anything. My Captain Marvel knowledge is very slim, and I was gonna get into it later. Like I just finished up the X-Men, whatchamacallit, Grand Design, like the 2 issues, the Ed Piskor Second Genesis, and she has a lot of X-Men ties.
She does,
yeah,
as Ms. Marvel,
and those parts where she's just been a part of. She was living in the X Mansion, like she's got issues with Rogue. Rogue took a lot of her power from her, and I was like, oh dang, like is he her man? So I was thinking about some of that as I was reading it. I was
Jude
like,
Law?
Yeah, and this could be cool going forward. Like since Marvel has everything pretty much now, like it's all been approved. Like, could they backpedal some X-Men story, or will they just do future? Like, oh dang, maybe Rogue takes her powers and there's like a big altercation between her and the X-Men for a bit.
Oh yeah,
that could be cool. I don't know if they're going to go that. They probably don't need to do that because that kind of predates her. I mean, the Marvel cinematic stuff doesn't mirror everything, like timeline wise. It's just kind of like what fits for what they're doing in the movies. But
what's getting the most attention out of these pictures?
What is
the 9 Inch Nails T-shirt?
Yeah. Oh, when she's wearing the leather jacket. That's cool. I mean, they're like, what's super
hey guys,
90s?
It's in the 90s.
What's 90s? I mean, I think
leather
that was
jackets,
a choice,
9 Inch Nails T-shirt, and de-aged Samuel L. Jackson,
which looks great.
It looks so good.
And I don't even want to keep going back to it, but how can that look so good and Superman's mustache looks so bad? I don't know. You got whatever they're doing at Marvel, man. They got that Disney magic, but yeah, Samuel Jackson looks great. But I was gonna say, you know what? That's a choice though. The 9 Inch Nails, like she's wearing like the old Shield hat and stuff, but I think it says something about who she is. She's a little badass. You know, it's not like she's wearing a Pearl Jam shirt. Not that Pearl Jam can't be badass, but you know,
judgment much,
right? But I'm like, if it's Pearl Jam, it kind of says something about who you are. If it's Nirvana's too on the nose, but 9 Inch Nails is enough. Like
that's pretty intense, man. Like that's like okay.
She's
That's a little darker.
She's listening to the Downward Spiral. She was really excited about that record coming out. She's like, all right, Trent Reznor, like, take me into space. You know? So I can dig it. I think that works.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, it's stuff like I'm excited about, like seeing these these images, but it didn't break the internet. Like that was really funny to set it up that way.
A trailer may.
Sorry, guys. A trailer would be a big deal.
You can't break the internet that easy. The internet like breaks every day. Something's crazy, and you can't just go pictures. Like
here's some pictures.
My grandma shows me pictures. She did not break the internet today. Like right? It has to be what? It's got to be a jaw drop.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
And that was not it.
And you know, the internet breaking could be good things and bad things. So this did not break the internet today, my friend. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
Sorry, Brie Larson. Good try. Overall, what would you rate the photos and everything? What would you give it?
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm stoked for this, dude. I think it's going to be great.
I give it a let's go, too. I'm excited.
My limited, what did I say? Experience, like reading Captain Marvel stories. Like, I've really liked the character. Like,
I didn't like her in Secret... in
Civil War 2.
Civil War 2, she was the
horrible.
Worst. But I think she was supposed to be the worst. So
yeah, but that's out of the ordinary a little bit.
I love seeing the Marvel and DC fans fight about it, going, they're only doing this because Wonder Woman came out. And Kevin Feige made something, hey, when Wonder Woman came out, it showed us that, you know, we can do this. And then, like, they wrote the script for this in March, and Wonder Woman's was written in May. And it's like, dude, who cares? We're getting a Captain Marvel movie. Shut up. This is the best of times, dude.
Just practice a little gratefulness. That's all I'm saying.
No way, man. I'm going to complain. Remember when freaking Meteor Man was the only comic book movie coming out?
Yeah.
Wasn't even
Mystery
a comic
Man?
book. Oh, Mystery Man was good. I like Mystery Man.
Oh, it was so good. But I'm saying, like, we didn't have, like, comic book
there wasn't
movies.
a lot. Now you're getting 2 Captain Marvel
Remember
movies out.
Italian Red Skull?
Rubber-eared Captain. You want a rubber-eared Captain America? Go back to that time, man. Like, all the fans like that just complain about this stuff. Here, I love passion. I love that people are like, dude, I want Henry Cavill to be Superman. There's nothing wrong with that. When you start complaining about stuff or like trying to have a pissing contest about like who wrote a script first and like Marvel's this, I'm like, here's the thing: you're gonna watch every movie. Every one of you fools that's like, I'm not gonna watch DC movies now.
Oh, like you're gonna boycott?
Like you're gonna boycott it? Yeah. Like, what are you gonna complain about? If you don't watch it, you can't complain about it. Like you're gonna go out there and freaking watch the movie and then get on Twitter and like bash it all day or like say it's the best thing ever. Fans, calm down.
Agreed.
No other fans are like this, right? I feel like Star Trek fans aren't upset like this. I don't watch Star Trek and stuff a lot. Like, no offense.
Maybe they're just more peaceful.
They are. They're like, dude, live long and prosper, bro. They're like rolling up a Vulcan joint and just relaxed. I don't know. Let me know, Star Trek fans.
Vulcan joint. All right.
So there you go.
Did you have anything else for us?
No, I don't. That was just a very long rant about just some current events. So I apologize to our listeners about all that stuff. But I did want to get into some comics, man. You want to talk about some comics?
Let's talk about some comics.
So a lot of cool stuff came out today. We had Catwoman 3, Detective 988. You had Hawkman 4, Plastic Man 4. Sorry, I'm reading a lot of DC. Spider-Man 5,
Infinity
Daredevil,
Wars 3.
Infinity Wars.
I have not read much of anything.
Yeah.
It's been a really crazy busy day for me.
Can I tell you, I really enjoyed Superman number 3.
Oh, wow.
And
nice. Even though it's got Rogol Zar in it?
Yeah. I was going to talk about it. Even Brian Michael Bendis put it out there today. And was like, hey, guys, it's out. And I said, I actually really enjoyed this issue. And he liked it.
Oh,
thank you, Brian. Come on the show,
You're
Brian Michael
basically
Bendis.
friends.
We're basically friends, though.
Thank you, Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah. I really liked the issue. The art was so good in it. Like, I just keep forgetting about how like Ivan Heiss, his like art is just so good, man. And as I was reading this issue, I was like, this took a long time to draw, man. It's so good. Like I dabble in drawing, and I'm like, it takes a long time just to draw, basic shape sometimes. And what he did was fantastic. And
yeah, he's one of those guys that gets a lot of detail when he wants to.
Yeah.
I really dug the variant cover. I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, there's like 2 variants on this thing too.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah. The guy that did. I'm trying to remember the artist for cover. We didn't talk about that last week, but I thought that book was really cool as well. Another Brian Michael Bendis book.
Yeah, I didn't
cover number 1.
Didn't finish.
You should check it out, Justin.
I know.
I won't talk about it until you check it out.
Cool.
But yeah, he or she, I don't remember the artist's name, did, pretty sure he.
You don't care.
They did variants, quite a few of them.
Yeah, there's the Adam Hughes and the David Mack. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the David Mack.
Yeah,
Sorry.
David Mack. David Mack is...
the Adam Hughes covers he's been doing have been fantastic.
I love Adam Hughes.
He's the one
dude.
coming up for action, like with the Daily Planet, like in the foreground and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Adam Hughes is like one of those guys who's just like been in comics so long. His stuff's so good. Like I remember him drawing Justice League International comics.
Oh man,
like he was doing the line art on the inside. It was fun. But yeah, he's primarily a cover guy. Yeah, but this issue was cool, man. It actually did. I felt like I still hate the look of Rogol Zar. There's something about the look. It just feels like generic 90s. And maybe it's supposed to be fun. I can't connect with it. But I did like this idea of I like that they're in the Phantom Zone. I like that he's freaking teaming up with, Jaxer, who, if you've watched Superman the Animated Series, he was like there instead of Zod. And so I like that he's like, hey, we're going to freaking take on Earth. It seemed really fun. And then I like, there's this one scene where Adam Strange is like, hey guys, where's the Earth? Hey, it's Adam Strange all the way from Ran. And he's just kind of like, where's everybody at? There's a cool scene with Superman teaming up with like all the Thinkers, like Mr. Terrific, both Atoms. Blue Beetle is in there. It was cool to see Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, which
cool.
I still don't know what his history is anymore since Rebirth. Like,
right?
Did he ever die? Did he die? I'm unclear on like if he was murdered by Maxwell Lord. We don't know, but they're all there thinking about how to solve all of the problems, and freaking it ends with Rogol Zar and all the dudes that are in the Phantom Zone just rolling up for war against Superman, and he's on a gigantic like Kryptonian dog dragon thing, and that looks cool. And
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty awesome.
yeah. So Superman 3, I'm gonna say it's a let's go. And remember, I wasn't hot on the miniseries, the Man of Steel miniseries.
No, or the first 2 issues.
Yeah, and so I'm getting there. Like it's gonna be really hard to surpass what Tomasi did, because I really love what Tomasi did. So yeah, man. So you want to talk about anything
Right on.
that you read?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I've really been able to read, I read The Flash. Let me pull it up again. Is that 54? And it was okay. Like this exploring the different forces and stuff has been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've made it, I don't know, like pretty engaging. I still think like my beef will always be with Josh Williamson. It seems is just the dialogue seems really cheesy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's a go. Like I you know me, I like keeping up on what the Flash is doing, but it's not anything mind blowing at this point.
Yeah.
And then the only other one I read so far was Catwoman #3.
Oh gosh, that was
and that
good.
continues to just be, can I say, just a gorgeous book.
Yeah.
Like
You can't.
I have
say
to count.
You're a married man.
I'm gonna count it. I think 1, 2, 3. 3.5 pages of like no dialogue, just like going over the rooftops and the streets and stuff like that. And even that was so captivating. I think it pulls you in. I think you have Joelle Jones' art is fantastic as always, and the team of her and Laura Allred is just continuing to be fantastic. I think it's one of the best that DC's putting out right now.
Yeah, it's good. It's only 3 issues in, and it was a creepy ass story, dude.
Dude, it really is.
It was actually really messed up. You're like,
yeah, getting a little backstory of our villain and
what's the villain's name
she's
again?
done.
I can't think of her name. I don't know.
I would need to pull it up again.
Like you're
I
just
don't know.
like,
She's creepy from the jump though. Like
yeah.
that.
The art changes in the middle of it. I was a little like I don't think it contributed much to the story. Like it wasn't like this huge art change where it was like, oh,
That's true. I didn't think
it
about
just
that.
it felt very like, it's just a fill. It felt like a fill-in. It didn't feel like this class. Like if they were trying to go like classic, like 1950s, 60s style, that would have been fine.
So it's Fernando Blanco.
It wasn't
pages 9 through 13.
It
So
wasn't
that's right in the middle there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I didn't think it was bad art. It was just like it
No,
wasn't.
but it's different.
It wasn't different enough so that you were like, oh, I get what they were doing there. It just felt like a fill-in, and so yeah. But yeah, man, it was a good issue, man. And I'm like, and then it kind of ends like, well, no, I don't want to spoil it. It just kind of ends like, oh.
Now, how'd you feel about all the powered up old people fighting her at the beginning?
That was cool.
Dude, I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah, I'm really into this book, dude. It's a good book, and if you're not reading Catwoman, you totally should. It's a gosh.
Yes.
I don't want to just
Check
throw
it
it out. I would say
So we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
but
don't want
we
to
will spoil it because I have a question.
Okay.
So this is your warning for spoilers.
All right, spoilers.
Who is that on the last page there?
Her sister,
She has a sister?
apparently. I don't know.
Dang, dude. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know if you
sorry.
knew more than I did on
I
this
didn't-
one. You're the
I'm
Batman
just like,
expert.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm thinking. The only problem is that they made her look too much like Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, I was a little confused at first.
Yeah. And so I don't know.
All right.
So there you go.
Any other books you read this week so far?
Oh yeah, I got. I was going to talk about the X-Men Grand Design.
Please do.
Kind of talked about, which came out last week, but I just sat down and I reread the first part. I reread number 1 and number 2, and it was so fun. Again, it's not a very good, like, if you're just trying to look for like a great like X-Men's type of story, it's not like we're telling a new story. They're just compressing. What Ed Piskor is doing is compressing all the stories from like early 80s into like 2 books, and it's kind of hitting like, hey, going to space, coming back from space, like dealing with
This even hits like some of the 70s stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it starts off there and ends in like the early 80s, like a lot of the Kitty Pryde stuff, and then even adds one of the interesting things that he adds in Stearns from the Marvel movies.
Oh,
Who's not a character in the comics at all, but he puts him in there
interesting.
as like he's the character Gary Shandling played, and
Yeah.
I only know that because I was like, oh, Stearns, that name sounds familiar. And then in the back of the book, they do this like extra reading stuff. And they're like, oh, Stearns is from the MCU. We added him just because they needed someone else to like be against mutants, you know? And so I was like, oh, that makes sense. And so they threw him in there. But it's really cool, like how he just kind of makes a convoluted X-Men confusing. We don't say it as much, but we used to. X-Men confusing storyline into something like, I get what the crap's going on. And so there you go.
Nice. That's cool. So those are the comics.
Yeah. So
any other ones? Are we keeping it pretty short this week?
Yeah, keeping it pretty short because, you know, if you want to go inside the Let's Go comic show like studio, we're going to record another issue.
Oh,
episode, not issue, whatever. Some people go,
we all knew what you meant.
Yeah, we're going to double ship.
That?
We're going to double ship this week, dude.
And why is that, Justin?
Because Batman Day is coming up, dude.
Oh, September 15th, Batman Day.
We didn't want to spoil Batman Day with a bunch of sad Superman news. And so, anyways, we'll have that episode for you on Saturday, which is Batman Day, which is also the launch of the DC Universe app, which we'll talk about that
so excited for that.
Batman Day. So there you go, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Matt, how can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Matt Ritchie.
At Matt Ritchie. You can find me at J_Rocca. You can find the show at Let's Go Comic Show on Twitter and Instagram. And you can go visit our website at www.letsgopodcast.com. And we would love, you know what we would love for you to do is to partner with us on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/letsgopodcast and you can contribute to the show. If you really like this show and you're like, hey man, and I'm not asking for like $5, right? I'm asking, dude, give like $1 or $3. That'd be awesome. And we'll send you some stickers and buttons and some other fun stuff that comes up during your tenure as a Patreon. We just want you to be with us.
Yeah.
Be with us in the best way. Join the team. And then you can wear a button, put a sticker like on your car, your grandparents, or whatever you want to do. Like, they may not be.
Yeah, we're excited to come up with some more content too for subscribers specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got some fun stuff coming up. Anyways, please consider that. And if you would love to, leave us a fantastic review on the iTunes podcast store. That'd be a great thing for you to do as well. So there we go.
Yes.
All right. You good, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks again for listening. My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.